This is our recap for Thursday, September 17th, 2020. So today we started again with our morning meeting. We are learning how to say hello in French. So bonjour, welcome to this quick recap. We had STEM Lab from 8 to 9. The kids gave it a roundings review. They said they enjoyed it very much. Their STEM Lab teacher, Ms. Gatson, is getting them ready on our next science unit. So I have been covering what is science by going over lessons 1, 3, and 5. They also had some hands-on science activities in STEM Lab with their teacher last week. Our next unit is now going to be on galaxies and solar systems and planets. And so Mrs. Gatson was getting them ready for that upcoming unit. This means that we are going to have our lessons in this week. We're going to do some review and some testing at the beginning of next week, and then we'll start getting deeper into galaxies, planets, and solar systems. All right, during our writing time, we took some conventions notes. We are talking about prepositions, conjunctions, and interjections. The students took notes on conjunctions yesterday. We heard the 70s Schoolhouse Rock conjunction junction song. And then today we took notes on what prepositions are. The biggest difference is understanding that conjunctions bring two ideas together, whereas prepositions really just tell you about where something is located in position or in its setting. So for example, the teacher is in her classroom, or Kathy is on her bed. Those are examples of prepositions. The students then wrote for 20 minutes in their journal. I explained to them that this is the last day that they wrote in their journal for the week. Now it's time for them to go back and look through everything they have written for 4 days. And since the theme of this week was ideas, I want them to share with me what they think has been their best idea yet so far. So they can either type up that in a Google Doc and share that with me, or they can take a picture of one of their pieces of writing they want to share with me and scan that and send it to me. So you have a couple different ways on how you get it to me, but what I am looking for is your best idea. That doesn't mean it has to be a full-blown story that's 2-3 pages long. It could be a paragraph. It could be a summary. I just want to know what was the best idea so far. So for example, I'll model for you. Throughout the week, I wrote about a beach story. I wrote about my animals and different experiences I had with my dogs, where one of my dogs got sick or one of my dogs got out of the backyard. Finally, today, a student inspired me to write something more sci-fi and in the area of more of a science fiction story. So I wrote a whole story about Captain Crispy Bacon on a mission to the omelet black hole. And that just really lit up, and I really enjoyed it. And so that's the idea that I want to share with the class. So throughout the week, they've been writing. I want them to pick what was the best idea that made them the most excited and share that with me by tomorrow. That will be considered a writing classwork grade. This will also be good because I will be able to look at all of their writing, and that'll inform me so that I can have writing conferences with students next week. So I can talk to them about things that they're doing well and ways that they can improve in their writing abilities. So we had lunch today on their own. We also had recess on their own. That's an hour break from technology for the children. That's so important that they actually take that time to get away from the computer, to eat their lunch, to get some daylight and some vitamin D. I know that's kind of hard with all the rain. And then during their homeroom PE time, it is important that they're getting physical activity. So getting in that time to exercise, and then of course having time to socialize also with their peers. That's what they would do during real homeroom PE if we were in school in brick and mortar. They'd have time to exercise and time to socialize. They had art with Mr. Castronova. I will let you know that during their resource time, that is my planning time. It's my time to leave, to use the bathroom, to make sure I get grades in, to work on assignments. So students that are having technical problems during their resource time, they're going to have to tell their resource teacher. They're going to have to go through the steps of logging out of Zoom and logging back into Zoom, and then just waiting patiently for their teacher to let them back in, because there's no real control that I can do. If they tell me, Mr. Castronova is not letting me into the Zoom, I could message him, but it's the same thing as if they were to message him as well. So I'm telling them to take more ownership over their learning, and if they're having problems, seek out that teacher just like I would seek it out for them, because that time is important for me to use for grading and for planning all the activities that we're going to do. The students had math. I did explain during our math time that I am going to have on the website what is the math homework. So let me pause for a moment. So the classroom website link has not changed. It is the same link from the beginning of the school year. I just change what's on the class website weekly. So what I've changed here for the students to see is that in the assignment tracker, you can click on it and it shows you all the work that we've been doing throughout the week. In blue, it shows you what the homework is for math. So that's kind of helpful if they forget while I'm explaining it, or at the end of the day, they don't write it down in their planner. There's one other place that you can go to figure out what are they supposed to be working on for homework. We also go over the homework together in class the next day. They need to be in that Zoom when we go over the work for them to get credit. That's going to be considered classwork and homework right there, that they're participating in the Zoom. Another cool thing to see on the class website is I changed the backpack that said summer work assignments to now, or summer homework, to math videos. So there are 3 videos that the students can access going over current skills that we're learning about. So decimals and place value, ordering and comparing decimals, and rounding decimals. If you click on the link, it'll take you to a YouTube video for them to listen to a specific song, which is either rock or rap, and it just kind of goes over the skills. For having a class where almost 80% of the students are audio and visual learners, this seems like a great idea to have some kind of song to kind of refresh your memory of what do I do when I'm rounding? 5 and up, I round up, or 4 and below, it stays the same. Having some kind of song, just like you would with any kind of little activity to kind of, like a mnemonic kind of device, it's going to help you to remember these tips and tricks a little bit better. And then for our 6th grade students, I have videos for them as well. We have videos for integers because they're learning about positive and negative numbers and absolute value. And then also as a review, greatest common factor and least common multiple. So you have access to those videos. If I go back to our homeroom, after we had math, we did ELA. I went over a plot diagram. I've explained to them what a plot diagram is, how it's related to stories when we're writing, and also how it's related to Frindle, how it's related to Flush, and even in our Zoom conferences, we talked about how it was related to the story Red Kayak. So we've been talking a lot about characters and plots for the first 2 weeks of school. I also have the students working on Frindle, finishing up reading chapters 13 through 15 and completing those slides. Each of those slides activities acts as a classwork grade, so the students want to make sure they're completing them. And then finally, there will be a quiz on Frindle going over character and plot. That will be considered a mini assessment that will go into Skyward. For the end of the day, we went into our planner and we wrote down the things that we were working on. So for example, in our planner, I know I can't show it to you in this video because I'm doing only a screen share, but they're currently working on Frindle 13 through 15 in slides, and it's due by tomorrow. For reading, I'm going to share with them a play of a Native American folklore called How Grandmother Spider Stole the Sun. I'm asking them just to read through it. They don't have to hand anything in. There's no questions to answer. It's just reading through a play because I'm going to assign them parts and they'll be reading and practicing that with me in small group. I suggested for them today for spelling, another thing they can do is creating a memory game with the words on it that they don't know how to spell so that they can practice their spelling words. There are many websites that you can go to that also offer you games where you can input your spelling words and play hangman and other types of scrambles. Just to remind you, the 5th graders are working on pages 43 and 44 for homework. The 6th graders are working on page 26 for review. I also explained to the students that in science and social studies, it's very important that they made sure that they completed their quizzes. Those quizzes are a way of checking that they actually completed their reading. They're not going to go into Skyward as quizzes. They're going to go in as classwork, and it's going to be 100% for completion. It's not going to go in as accuracy. I will use the information for accuracy in my teaching, but I'm not going to count it against them in Skyward. So as long as you've read the pages and you've completed the quiz, you'll get 100% for that particular lesson. So I'll be sending out emails to students reminding them of what is missing. So before I end this video, I just want to make clear I'm going through the process of being clear about what is due every day. I'm also taking the time to write down when things are missing from students. I'm emailing those students, I'm telling them they're missing the assignments, and I'm giving them the links so they can turn in those assignments. At a certain point, there has to be a cutoff. So every child has at least a week to get those missing assignments in. After a week, I'm going to input it in the gradebook as a 50 because we have to move on. I can't constantly be going back to the assignments that they're missing. I've got to start focusing on the assignments that are due actually that week. So one of the things that you might want to do over this weekend is kind of go through Skyward, because I'm taking the time to update Skyward, and look at all the assignments that say missing and have a conversation with your child about why is it we're not getting the assignments done on time? What plan can we make so that you can start getting these assignments done? If for some reason your child is having a hard time with Digital Academy and you see reflected in their Skyward grades, this may not be the best method of instruction for your child. They might need a little bit more monitoring, and they might need brick and mortar. Brick and mortar right now is as safe as I can see that it's happening, where these teachers are putting up dividers, the kids are wearing masks, and they're getting a little bit more guidance and help because they have a teacher in the room with them. The papers are there in front of them. So I'm doing my part of trying to hold everybody accountable. I need parents to hold their children accountable. And ultimately, if it's not working, we need to start thinking about a plan. What are we going to do so that your child's grades are not going to be negatively reflected because they can't handle doing this digital learning? I'm willing to be as flexible as possible with you in these first couple weeks. I'm being flexible with turning things in late. I'm being flexible with how they're turning it in. But at some point, it's coming upon them that they've got to actually do the work. And if they're struggling in order that they can't figure out how to put things on Canvas, they need to speak up. They need to send me an email, because I've made countless tutorial videos explaining how to share documents, how to upload documents, how to copy documents. So if it's a problem, we need to meet together, and I will gladly help you through it. I know that we can solve our problems, but we've got to face the problems if we're going to solve them. So please take that time this weekend to look through Skyward and really try and get an idea of where your child is grade-wise and what we can do moving forward. For the students who have done an excellent job, I'm so very proud of you. You've transitioned to something that's very difficult, very well, and it's going to prepare you for middle school and high school. If you can do this, you can do middle school and high school for sure, which are mostly going to be online anyways. They're going to be using all that technology in the classroom if you're going to be there too. Thank you for watching this recap. Thank you for continuing to be supportive and patient with me, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Thursday.